All right, gather round. We're here with the ultimate Irish storyteller, doing shows on July 19th and then at the October 2nd on a Thursday at Astor. We're here with Ronnie Neville, the ultimate Irish storyteller, as you'll hear. Me and Branchy spoke about 8 lines throughout the episode.
Just let him go.
And let Ronnie rip.
Yep.
But we are brought to you by alltradescover.com.au.
Yes, if you're watching at home behind our glorious guests there, you'll see their beautiful logo. But it's not about what they can cover now, Delby. It's about who they cover.
Yeah, it can cover you if you need public liability insurance, which you will for Astor Theatre.
Tell you what, give us a pitch. How could you sell insurance?
Yeah.
How would you sell insurance?
Yeah.
You failed. You've lost us.
I got a baseball bat. I got a guy in a gorilla costume.
Oh, you would actually do it.
Oh, I'm thinking like pitching.
Anyway, if you want insurance.
Let's go over. Some guys in a gorilla costume, baseball bat, and I start filming it. I start beating him up, and he takes the mask off, and he goes, "Hey, do you have insurance?" He was like, "No."
I mean,
it's memorable.
I was more thinking of a Wolf of the Wall Street, sell me the pen.
Yeah.
All right,
Sell me right now. Like, what guys, if you got a chopper, well, if you're doing it at work and you chop your finger off, you might want some insurance.
Yes.
So,
Like a TV commercial.
yeah. If you get a gang of Lebanese come up on you and you don't have a cleaver and they rob your store, do you have insurance?
Oh, fuck. But
Which is a story that happens, which is one of the most fucking insane stories you'll ever hear in this
clever.
podcast.
It's very good.
Alltradescover.com.au. Tell them the hard yarn sent you. And if you've got a small business, big business, or just want to not compare the pair because that would be copyright. Compare your insurance. Alltradescover.com will help you out, guaranteed.
Correct. This episode's also brought to you by Crafted Finance. Do you need a loan?
Maybe.
Can you pay it back?
No.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But if you do need a mortgage, or even a small business loan or a personal loan, whatever asset sort of stuff, they're the ones to get around your finances. So Crafted Finance is basically the way they came about was they used to work for the banks, quite upset with the way that people were just falling into the trap of just getting into debt in the worst possible way, paying a shitload of interest over the term of the loan. A lot of mortgage brokers were just getting people in and taking the money and running and not caring about the people's future. So these
Buying
guys,
a van full of whisks and leaving them in debt.
Exactly. So they won't. They will deprioritize making themselves more money and make sure you get the best deal possible. That's what they want to do. They'll present you with all the options, and that's what's important. They'll give you that option, the easier loan, the quick one, but you're gonna pay more interest. But they'll also present you with all the options. So all the information. They're great. They're good people. They're like-minded. They're listeners, and they're just good people. So hit them up. It's in our show notes. Their website is in the show notes.
And the logo's behind Branchy right now. Crafted Finance.
Beautiful. And I think in our bio, you should be able to find a direct link to their website.
Awesome. Tell them we sent you either way.
Please. But we were joined today by Irish storyteller, not Ronnie Neville.
/ Delby's housemate.
Ronnie Neville Irish on Instagram.
/ some sort of, what would you call it?
Salesman extraordinaire.
TV
salesman.
TV pitchman.
Kitchen network.
The Irish Vince.
Yes.
From ShamWow.
The ShamWow.
The Irish
ShamWow.
So what did we cover today, Ronnie?
Bit of everything. Hey, just get out there, have a go, get stuck into it.
Yeah, well, we tell stories about Ronnie selling to a Lebanese gang, having a bikie come after him from selling a dodgy chopper, not the motorbike chopper, an actual vegetable chopper.
Selling in the Sexpo.
Selling whisks at Sexpo.
Yes.
Learning how to basically sell anything, looking for a donkey in Edinburgh, performing in front of Jim Owen. It's a wild ride, and you're going to love this episode.
Nice, fun episode. Good light one, considering we've had the pandemic treaty on in this break through the series. So there's a bit of a heavy episodes, and this is a nice, light-hearted, good fun one. So enjoy.
Nice frothy, light whiskey one.
Yes. But without further ado, let's get hard.
Let's get sold.
Yes.
Welcome to Hard Yarns Podcast.
I am fucking fat.
Anything Chris White says, please disregard it.
5D is actually a state of being. It's a unity consciousness.
That was Hard Yarns with me, Frankie Rose. So I'm going to throw it over to your co-host,
Daniel Delby.
And Cameron Brand.
I would do this and then I'd gong.
Free in attendance for the millions listening at home. Let's get hard.
So we hung about it.
Right, top of the morning to you. There we go. We all look lovely. Hold on. That's not on. That's all good. And
Great, isn't it?
bang. There we go. Sick.
All right.
You look
What's
good.
the crack,
We're
lads?
here with Ronnie Neville. Ronnie Neville.
I don't know.
What's the crack?
What's the crack?
What's the crack, lads? What's the story, hey?
You know, no crackage
No crackage?
from our previous episode.
I don't remember. I can't recall you going to.
This is one episode ago.
Yeah, I know. What?
You were saying can't let the crackage get to you.
I still don't know.
Still don't know?
Nah.
So we're off to a flyer. Let's go.
Mate, I've done I've done too many episodes. People come up to us in the street and go, "Oh yeah, this," and I'll be like,
Yeah.
"What?" And then they'll make a reference to the pod, and it's like something that stuck out to them, and I'm like, "Oh, what's 300? This will be 348 episodes."
Jeez, 348.
Yeah, and like, fuck, how do you remember it all?
We should have got
Like,
him on for the 333rd.
33 in a third.
Well, with a couple of lost episodes, I don't know what we've actually had.
Yeah. Maybe
Probably
350-ish.
Yeah, probably a two.
Well,
or
we
three
lost
ahead.
3 eps, maybe.
I reckon we've lost two or
McCann,
three.
Sickant,
How did you
and
lose
one.
that? Just
Yeah, so Mr. Sickant, that was, I can't remember what happened to that. What was that? Audio. All the audio gone.
Yeah.
Or glitched.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we had an episode with James McCann where fucking Kaya Legacy. He didn't monitor the audio properly. So no audio. And I feel like there's a couple others maybe, or maybe just
one.
shit ones that we were like, nah.
Yeah, there was one where the audio like cut out every 5 seconds or something. So
That might have been Sickant. But yeah. But you're all right.
but
savage, lads.
we're
Yes,
here
it's
with the
great.
number one potato peeler salesman.
In the world.
In the world.
Actually, that's okay. Let's go with that because
Yeah.
I want to know because I've been seeing all these YouTube videos of you selling a dicer on
on the television. On the YouTube.
the YouTube.
That's mad, right, isn't it? It's a bit of a mad story, hey?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Go
Well,
on. Well,
we
tell us.
have Ronnie Neville, Irish storyteller.
How's it going? Where do I look? What do I do here?
Yeah, just talk to us.
Oh, to you. Oh,
Yeah.
mighty stuff. That's what I meant.
Just like a normal chat.
So what did you do? You ended up leaving Ireland and following your dreams.
So I just came over to Australia, I suppose. A lot of people say, why do you leave Ireland? The weather in Ireland is shocking. Yeah? So I came over here. I came over as a Sparky electrician.
Yeah.
Worked for a few months. And then I just wanted to do something different. So I was just, just looking at different odd jobs. But I used to go down to Canningvale Market. You know Canningvale?
Yeah.
And I saw this bloke in Canningvale. They're called a pitchman. They're kind of died out right now.
Yeah.
But this guy was selling potato peelers. And I used to just get a coffee, like buy my fruit and veg, and be watching this bloke. And he always had a crowd around, you know?
Yeah.
And then I saw him taking the...
Move it back to where it was. Delby fucked that up.
Was it right?
Yeah. No, it was good.
All good.
That was good.
Yeah, it was fine where it was. Yeah, just
Sorry, listeners, I just moved the mic in his face.
Banging me in the
yeah. Sorry. Good.
I was on the market, I was watching this bloke, and he always had a crowd around, you know? And he was like selling for $10 a pop. And then I was like, one day I just sat down having a coffee and I was counting the money. And I was like, this guy's taking a few $1,000 here, you know?
How many was he selling?
Oh, mate, just like hundreds of them.
Wow.
Hundreds and hundreds of them. Like, you know, he was just like small pitch. And
I can't remember the last time I peeled a potato.
Do you do much cooking with potatoes?
Nah.
When's
When's the last time you peeled a potato?
3 nights ago.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. I got a daughter that
Yeah.
likes mashed potato.
Okay.
you gotta peel it, but anyway.
Yeah.
And I saw this bloke, and he was a big crowd around. So I walked straight up to him, like being like kind of a bit green. And I walked up, and I just goes, "Hey, can you show me how to do this? I'd like to learn this." And he just looked at me, and he said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Ireland." And he goes, "I will not." He said, "You'll be across there next week selling them, you know, if I show you." You know?
Yeah.
So every week I'd see him on a Sunday, and I'd walk up and go, "Come on, will you show me?" Just for a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
About a month into it, he was coughing and spluttering and sneezing in on the stand, and I walked up and I goes, "God, it'd be great now if you had a little apprentice to help you." And he said, "Well," and I gave him an old cup of tea, and he said, "Come here next week, and I'll give you an old test run, you know."
Yeah.
So fair enough to him. Like, he just threw me into the deep end, and he goes, "Look, I'm just going to give you all the stuff, give you a bit of a script, and I must head away for the day, you know."
Yeah.
He was just stuck for someone to have a day off, you know.
Yeah.
And I jumped on the stand, and he gave me the script. And I was trying to read the script, and I wasn't even that good at school, like, and I was like, "Oh God." So I just I put the vegetables out on the table.
Yeah.
And then it was just the nervousness. I never spoke in front of people before, so I just started shouting. just to get the nervous, and I had huge crowds.
What were you shouting?
Potatoes! I was like, have a look, come on over and have a look. And I started naming the potatoes. I started freaking out. I was like, 5 potatoes, Mickey, Jory, Harry, Frankie, and Tommy. Watch what I do with these. So the crowd was just like, this guy's a lunatic, you know? So a huge crowd. And then I would do the whole demonstration and ask for the money, and everybody would just clap their hands and walk away.
What was like good about the peeler? What was the selling point?
It was stainless steel, double-sided.
Go on, give us a pitch. You got 5 potatoes there. Give us a 30-second pitch.
All right.
What you were doing?
I was like going, cut your cabbage in half. The blade is double-sided with a serrated edge. It grips in like a Velcro, goes all the way up and all the way down. Look at that. That's your coleslaw. How long would that take to do with a knife? Now with your potatoes, Mickey, Joey, Harry, Frankie, and Tommy. Let me show you Tommy. Hang on. Tommy just said he's going through a divorce. We'll have to do Mickey. Now we're doing Mickey. Now, before you do Mickey the potato, you got to give him a little stroke like this. Make sure he's okay. Are you okay? And I start talking to the vegetables. The crowd are going to go, this guy's a nut job, you know? And he goes, just peel him like that now. Like, just take the clothes off like you're at the strip club. Now, take the top off. Now you got the eyes here. The eyes are looking back. Can you see the eyes? And the crowd are looking at each other as if like, and I go, nice and gentle. And I goes, do the tops like this. And he goes, that's your potato done. Who said an onion? What happens when you peel an onion? I said, you start to cry. No more tears peeling.
When you see the visual of this, he does look like a lunatic.
Cracking jokes, you know? And then I would just take 2 carrots and I would just go, no, guys, this is the best part of the demonstration. The crowd is getting bigger and bigger. And I'm like going, 2 carrots, 2 different backgrounds in their whole life. And I'm just going to hold them up in the air now. And I just go silent and I hold the carrots in the air. And I goes, this is the best part of the demonstration. And I go, you just put them on the table like so. Anyway, guys, I'll show you. And then I used to pull out a giant like cleaver. And a pumpkin, like these big huge pumpkins.
Yeah.
And I was like, they say the true test of a blade is the hardest skin. And I drive this cleaver into a pumpkin, like chopping a pumpkin.
Yeah.
But I goes, that's not true. It's the softest skin. A tomato skin, an avocado, a kiwi,
Do a little
a
secret.
peach, a mango. He'll even peel a tomato for you. How much are they? Where can you get them? It's a great question. Who asked that question, you know? And I say, come up here. And then I'll ask someone to have a go, cracking loads of
You're
jokes.
giving people knives and candy well.
It was more entertaining. It was just all jokes.
Yeah.
Some days I'd be having a laugh. And $10. And when I went to your man's house to give him the money, he thought I added money.
Because you sold so many.
He was like, mate, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I sold like thousands of potato peelers. I sold out, you know?
Yeah.
I know what in my brain just worked out in the morning. Like, you know, I was like, I got crowds, but slow down.
Yeah.
And then it was good crack. And then...
Did you say you struggled to sell at first? You did a good pitch and then no one would pay?
Yeah, I had huge crowds. And I think it was just the nervousness. But I always had the ability to get a huge crowd. I think it's because I was able... I didn't know what I was doing. So I was just shouting at them.
Yeah.
And also...
Wolfie 2.0.
and also they didn't understand me at all.
Yeah.
And people are like, do you do jokes? Sometimes they were just laughing when I said potato. I was like, take your potato. Half the crowd was just like... all these blokes in the morning with their coffees just looking at each other. You know? And then a few years later, I'm traveling around the world, different Buenos Aires, Hong Kong, different countries, Melbourne, Swanston Street, selling them on the street.
Yeah.
And then I ended up, this is like the short story, but I ended up in New York, off Times Square, selling different kitchen gadgets.
Legally or illegally?
I had a sign saying donations only. And I had a buddy looking out for people. But I remember on Swanston Street years ago, I was on Swanston Street and I was outside the cop station. It was just down an alleyway in Swanston Street. And the cops would come and watch me, you know? I was like, and then I was like going and... the council, Melbourne Council, and I said to the crowd, I goes, guys, I'm not sure if I am allowed to be here or not.
Yeah.
You know? And they're all just looking at me and I goes, so if someone shows up and they look pretty official, I'm just going to pick up a carrot and start singing, okay? and I said, I mightn't sing that well, but I'll sing badly, but it's just until they walk away. So halfway through the demonstration, I see some fella in a Vice vest, you know, like a Melbourne City Council. This guy have a permit, and I would just go, turn around. And the whole crowd, half the crowd is on board and they're clapping, and then there's new people going, God, this guy sounds so bad.
He's selling something.
And then now and again the cops will show up and I go, hang on, I have to stop the demonstration. It goes, there you go, lads, there's the weekly bribe for you, and hand them a potato peeler, and they just fucking roar, laugh and walk away.
Yeah.
So I would just do that. But in the streets you do like $5-10, but it was like entertainment, but I was making a living from it. But I was traveling. I was going all over the world. I'd go to Hong Kong.
Why were you traveling?
Just traveling around the world, just having a laugh.
How old are you?
20s, in my 20s at that
That
stage.
now, I mean, sort of.
Right now, 35.
Yeah, okay. So you had to think about that one.
Yeah, I'm 35 as well.
yeah, okay. But this is like younger. You're sort of traveling.
This is younger,
Yeah, getting around and like,
getting around, mate. But I like some funny situations, mate. I ended up in like
the Irish love a travel.
yeah.
All my mates that like the biggest travellers, they're all my Irish mates.
Well, that's what they call travellers.
Yeah.
That's the PC term for an Irish traveller.
Yeah.
I don't know, is it some sort of Viking blood or something? But the minute
I'd
we
say
turn
gypsy
18,
blood, but
gypsy Viking, yeah. As we 18, we're just itching to get out of there, like just travel, eh?
yeah. So what? You
The
end up in
adventure.
New York because you're on the Vince from ShamWow.
Yeah.
That's a friend of his.
Yeah.
You ended up on the shopping channel.
Yeah, I ended up on the shop. So I was on
Hi guys, Vince here.
ShamWow.
Wow.
I was on the streets of New York and I was selling loads of different gear. I was doing jewellery and I was changing up every week, and I had a buddy watching out if there was someone going to come and complain. And some guy just walked up, gave me a business card, and he said, I was like, oh yeah, what's this? He goes, do you think you can do this on camera? And I said, yeah. So he brought me into a studio and he started filming me and he started putting me like on TV a little bit.
Yeah.
But the biggest one was, not much came from that, but then I went off down to South America. And I was down there, and I suppose I was late 20s at that stage, and I was down there and I said, I'd love to get back on the TV in America.
Yeah.
So I went up to this, I was telling Delvey this, I was up in Santa Barbara, and I heard this big guy that was putting people on television. So I got his details, and I could barely write the email, and I just sent this mad bluffing email saying I heard about your name be mentioned in Australia and the trade shows in Europe.
Yeah.
I'm from living in Australia. I'm looking to buy a TV commercial. Is there any chance we could meet up? You know, and I'm also meeting these other big companies. I was just bluffing.
Yeah.
So, first I had to ring his secretary, and she wouldn't give me his number, his personal number. I said, can I have his email? He told me to contact him. I met him in a trade show, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought this could take me a year to get on TV, but this was like the first few weeks. And he responded to the email.
Wow.
So then he gave me his number. I contacted him. He was living in Malibu.
Could he understand you, or was writing better?
When I rang him on the phone, I changed my voice like I was an adult. I don't know, like I felt like a kid. I was like going, hello, how are you doing?
Hello, Mr. Burns.
And he told me to come down and meet him in Malibu, you know? So I went down to meet him in Malibu.
Yeah.
And I sat on a little water fountain. This guy showed up and we just started chatting for hours. Nothing about the business.
Yeah.
He was just obsessed with Roy Keane, who's like plays for Manchester United.
Yeah.
So I was like, I know Roy Keane. We were chatting about Roy Keane. So back to this bloke's house.
What, you said you knew him, or you were just like, I know about Roy Keane?
I know about him. Like, you know, it was like a common.
He's a cunt. Hey, Roy Keane was an asshole.
He was a legend.
Oh.
He was like our hero. He was like your from WA who
It's like Steve Irwin for us.
yeah, this guy was just a legend. But growing up like that was our hero. But I knew everything about. So we were chatting. He brought me back to his house. But then he set up a meeting where I had to go into like a Shark Tank.
Oh.
You know, like a Shark Tank.
Yeah. And pitch.
Yeah.
Like a pitch in a Shark Tank.
Yeah.
So he set me up in this meeting. So there was all these wealthy investors in there. Okay.
I love this story.
Mate, there was all these wealthy investors in there. So like this guy was going to give me a chance to come in. So I went in to meet. So there was all these inventors. They're like patents and patents. And they were like they're working on projects for 10 years. And I was like, this is mad. Like, you know. So I went across the road to like Whole Foods
Yeah.
to get vegetables. And they call it it was like an expensive, like a kind of an organic place.
Yeah.
Yeah, Whole Foods is hell expensive.
Oh,
man.
mate.
Yeah.
My bank card wouldn't work. So I was actually literally looking at the scanning machine and just filling a box. So I had this meeting across the road, and I was like and then this woman helped me to pay for the stuff, right? And I felt bad. I was like, I'll give you cash later. So I'm walking across the street into this kind of big interview with these multi-millionaires with a box of vegetables and a potato peeler. And I'm like, I was like, I have nothing to lose here. This is mad, you know?
Yeah.
So I walked into the meeting, and they had all these inventors in, and they're all in suits, just all hanging out, watching these guys sweating. So I threw down the box of vegetables, and I was in Santa Monica, and I just looked at them all, and they're all just waiting for me to start, you know?
Yeah.
I pulled out a knife, giant cleaver again, like, right? Out of the box.
In America.
In America, right?
Scrape!
And all these guys just started squirming and looking at each other like, what the hell, who did I leave in here, right?
Yeah.
And next guy just goes, cut your cabbage in half. And I just did this mental demonstration inside there, right? Huge demonstration. And I finished all up, and I just put everything down. I still had the knife in my hand.
Yeah.
And I was like, going, so what do you think? do you think it will work, right? And this guy just goes, look, before we give you the answer, can you put down that knife, please? Right? So I put the knife down. And I had this all set up in my mind. I wanted them to ask this question.
Yeah.
And they all just, one fellow was like going, what are you selling?
Yeah.
What's the product, you know? And
Yeah.
I was demonstrating to Peter. And then I put everything down, and I just goes, oh, and then I had this thing, you know, in my head rehearsed for ages, and I just needed to get that question out, you know, and I was like going, I am the product. I said, you have no one on TV in America from Ireland. I said, Conor McGregor's after blowing up. St. Patrick's Day, I said, you've 2 million people show up. You've the basketball team, the Celtic basketball team. You have Notre Dame. I goes, where's the Irish guy on TV? I said, you have no Irish personality.
I'm the product.
And mate, they just all started looking at each other. This guy just stood up, walked over to me, started showing down his business card, and he was like going, I can get you on TV, this is what I do. And then a guy started coming up, giving me his business card, you know, and I was like, blah, blah.
That's crazy, eh?
Then 2 weeks
I'm
later,
the product.
That's the best line ever.
I'm the product,
I am the product.
Was this actual Shark Tank, the actual TV
It
show?
was like a kind of a something similar, but like private in the back room.
Because like with products and with any business idea, you got to get seed funding and people investing. So Shark Tank happens, it's just not filmed. You go to like investors.
So this was a real...
It's like a proper investor's pitch.
And all these inventors like were listening outside the door. They were just looking at me as if
So your investor's pitch was you.
Yeah.
that was like me.
How sick is that?
Here's the invention that you cannot replace.
And then I turned around and I goes, and then some guy picked up the peeler, and he was like, can you do this again? And then I looked at him and I was like, I can do that with anything.
Yeah.
And he goes, just get me a vegetable peeler. So a few weeks later, I'm in a studio, and they put a camera on me. And then I was like, oh, God, this is all happening, you know? I visualized it. I was like, this is happening. And I had to go to the bathroom, throw some water on my face. And then they asked me to look into the camera. And the man said, just do what you did before. But with the camera in my face and all these lights and all these production guys, I started freaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
So I just started. And the minute I started, I stopped because I knew it was going to come out wrong. And I goes, look, I've never looked into a camera before. Is there any chance we can get some of the secretaries in the office to come around? So they brought all these secretaries out, about 12 seconds. Some of them are really hot, right? And that kind of threw me off my game as well, right? You know, but it kind of like, you know, like I was just sticking the chest out a little bit more, right? You know? And I said, all right, just go for it, you know?
Yeah.
And I just started pitching to the
people.
all the people, all the cameramen.
Far more authentic. That's real. That's good.
It came out authentic, and I was doing cheese, and I just kept rolling it. And I asked one woman to come in and have a go. And then they took that video, and everybody was, and all the secretaries were like, can we buy one? Where can we buy it? And your man was just giving me a thumbs up.
It's like, it's not even a new product. It's just him going, we can peel.
Yeah, I mean,
You are the product.
Yeah, peel him around. And I had this little gadget, which was like, some guy gave it to me years ago to give out for free with products.
Yeah.
But like, he goes, you stick it in, you turn it around, and you throw it into the oven. But when I did it first, it was kind of like hypnotizing people because I was dig this little spiral, and the spiral's the potato. I should have brought one today. And you dig it into the potato.
It cores it.
It cores it, but it goes around and around.
Yeah.
So I was like going, but I'm going to give you something for free. And I goes, this little guy here. I goes, do you take any potato And he says, you dig him in, you turn him around. The more you turn, the more he cuts. The more he cuts, the deeper he goes. And around, and around, and around, and around he'll go. And it sounds very sexual or something, right? People are looking at each other and he goes, you open him up. A little bit of butter, a little bit of olive oil, in with your leg of lamb or your chicken roast. And he comes out. Delicious, and I'll give you that for free right now. So, mate, one of the cameramen was just shaking right the camera. Like. So half the people, that's very funny. Half the people are like, "Is he a lunatic?" This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. And then the cameramen are just like cracking up, like
So that's great.
So they put it on TV. They tested it. It blew up, and one of the guys was like, "Oh, if we get it," I didn't even know what a CPO was. I still don't know. Cost per order, and he said, if we get something like 19 or 22, we can roll it out on TV. It came in at 3 and 4. So
is that bad or good?
Unbelievable.
Right.
So they did like an online test, and they put me on the TV, blew up on the TV. I was all over America on television.
That's literally like a movie where you go there to the big smoke to get your big break. Walks in, and out of 300 million people,
It's just an odd thing to try and get your fucking.
Mate,
That's a weird vision. I want to be the Sham Wow guy.
yeah, it's just a mad thing. I remember years ago.
Is that what you wanted?
I tell you, know what happened? You know, I don't know. I stumbled upon it, but I think when I left Ireland, I was in the sauna and I was chatting to this old bloke.
Where all good conversations happen in the sauna.
With a big, huge beard. And I was like, oh, all the buddies are heading to Canada, but no one's going to Australia. I want to go to Australia, you know? And he goes, oh, let me think about it. And he was rubbing his beard. And I was like, all right. So I went for a swim and I came back. This is what he said to me. He said, I'd go to Australia. And I said, why? And he goes, I think like that's a very Irish way of thinking. Like he goes, if you go to Canada and you lose everything and you end up on the streets, he said, you'll die of the cold. You can survive on the beach in Australia.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it. So that's why I made
he's
up
got
my mind.
no faith in you.
No faith in
He's
me.
like, well, you're going to be homeless. You better be homeless in Australia.
And then what he said to me did before he left, he was like, going, whatever you decide to do, he says, just become the best at it. And then I was just doing the potato peeling, and I was like, going, fuck, I wonder if I become the best guy in the world selling a potato peeler, what would happen?
Yeah.
So that was always in the back of my mind.
Well, you ended up
Fucking interesting concept.
Yeah.
Just be the best at whatever it is.
Yeah, just something small.
super niche.
I remember like, something.
What happened with the bar? And the guy said you never make it.
Oh, so I went into this Irish bar the first few weeks there, and in Santa Monica, and I was with an ex-girlfriend. We walked in, and I was chatting to this guy, and he said, what are you doing here? Like, he was an Irish guy, actually from Cork, right? He owned the Irish bar in Santa Monica. I'd love to know his name. But he gave me a little bit of
Paddy, I reckon.
Yeah, probably Paddy or something. And next day he turned around and he was like going, he said, what are you here for? And I goes, oh, I'm coming over. I have an idea, like, to put something on the television, like, and I think we're going to make it happen now. Like, you know, I keep thinking about it and I'm writing it out and I have a few meetings. And he goes, oh, so you want to become a star in America and be on TV? And I was like, yeah. And he just gave me the most patronizing look. And he goes, here, you can have that drink on me, son, you know? As if, like, it was in Santa Monica. You must have seen hundreds of guys, you know?
Yeah.
And I was, like, drinking the drink, you know, and I gave him, paid money and went back. A few weeks later, this guy, we were all over the TV.
Yeah.
You know? We were between a Lakers game. They put us, the television was Lakers game.
Yeah.
And I walked in, and the ex was kind of winding me up a little bit. She was like going, oh, his head's going to explode. He thinks he's going to be doing autographs and stuff, you know? And I was like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
joking. And we walked in. The minute I walked into the bar, this guy was like, that's him. That's the guy. And all the barmen came over and all the locals were there. This guy, you're the Irish guy on
You
TV.
did it. You did it.
And he was like, you did it. And he was like, can you make a video for my buddy? We're all in the pub. He said, you came on the Lakers game. And then I'm just looking at her as if like,
This is it.
you know? It was good.
I love it, man. That's fucking
Is that
awesome.
focusing on the mic because of lean back?
No.
Nah, all good.
And then, another thing, like, you know, when you don't listen to people, you know, one of my
Yeah.
brothers, me and my brother, we used to go to China and we used to kind of do a little bit of buying trips. We used to go to different factories and stuff. Like, he used to bring in bed linen and pillows and stuff. And I used to do kitchen gadgets, you know. So we used to go maybe once or twice a year. But your brother, who's my older brother, so he was like, you know, he's like, we're going here. And I was kind of following him around. And I was like, look, I want to do my own thing. I'm going to get my own interpreter tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to and
Fuck, you need that for English.
I know, and I was like, going, and I goes, I'm going to my own factory. I want to visit a plastic factory.
Yeah.
You know, I'm interested in plastics.
Yeah.
And big argument with my brother in Shanghai airport, right? Now, he's big belly.
Yeah.
He's in his white undies, right?
Yeah.
And he's there in his hips drinking his cup of tea, right? And he was
At the airport?
No, this was in the hotel in Shanghai,
gonna
right?
say.
And next thing he turned around, he goes, no. He goes, we'll invest. He was like trying to get me to invest all my money in bed linen. He goes, it's safe. Everybody needs bed linen. He goes, it's been working for years. And he says, do you want to go off and do something else? And he goes, you're not telling me something. What do you want to do? He said, we're in this together. We'll put the money together. And I looked at him. And he was there leaning against the door, right? Big belly now. He looked like Homer Simpson now. Big white undies, right? Looking at me now, just like scruffy ears. And next thing he goes, tell you what I'm going to do. I got all angry in the hotel. I goes, oh, you have a dream? And he was like going, oh yeah, what's your dream? Like that, right? Looking at the wall. And I goes, oh, I'm going to take a potato peeler and I'm going to put her on TV in America and everybody's going to buy it. And he just looked at me. And I've never seen someone laugh so much in my life. He fell down in the bed, rolling around like a piglet, like a piglet or something.
Yeah.
And anytime he looked at me, he started laughing. He was farting and laughing until he fell down the ground. He looked at me, kept laughing. He laughed me out of the room. And I goes, I'm booking my own hotel room, right? And the next day he met me for breakfast. He couldn't even eat the breakfast. He kept laughing at me. And then like a year later, I sent him the video.
Yeah.
And then he straight away told the whole family, I told him do it.
Because didn't you design it to be like a green one, an Irish, an actual Irish potato peeler?
We designed it that was green and white, and I said, can we put shamrocks in it as well?
Yeah.
So there's little shamrocks in it.
Who owned the IP to that?
Then what happened? Then eventually I started working with 2 other guys, 2 investors, and then there was 4 of us involved. So like we divided up between ourselves, but one guy was in charge of the development of it in Hong Kong. Another guy was like a writer involved in designing and making TV commercials.
Yeah.
And then the other bloke that I first met was the investor, kind of an investing guy.
So who had the intellectual property of it?
So what we do is we take the IP and then we bring it to the big companies that will invest, like buy it for millions. So we have it like, so they would buy it for like, they would buy it, and if they put it on the TV,
Still speaking the mic, sorry.
Oh, yeah. And if they put it on the television, they like spend millions on it. But the way it works is every one you buy on television, you buy 10 at retail. So it's just a retail business. So straight into Walmart, big stores. So when they see the ad on TV, so what we do is like, how's the easiest way to say, if you buy a racehorse and you train the racehorse, then we sell the racehorse to the biggest buyer. Yeah. So like we're just developing it. They buy, but then the deal is we make it. So when they sell it, no one can kind of mess us up. We get a percentage. We get royalty fees.
And is that still coming through?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I just recently did a new one last year.
A new product?
It's called Chopzilla.
And it's exclusive to the Japanese market.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
Is this the one I've seen? You just
the recent one?
with the chop down on dicks?
Oh, that was funny.
It's good.
Yeah, it's great.
I've seen it. I was
works.
watching it to
It
go,
works.
okay, this is a laugh. I'll have you put it a link or something, or maybe Squirrely or someone. I think Squirrely sent me a link, and I watched, and I was like, I probably want that.
That was
It was hilarious though. Look at this. Look at this. You got your fruit salad. You shake it up. It's done.
Yeah.
It's good.
Well, so you just put it on and chop it. That's
you put in your potatoes, you chop it down, but you can check it out, Chopzilla. But the best one was, what else happened? I'm missing loads of stuff, but this guy in America, he's from Ireland, but he's one of the biggest YouTubers in the world.
Yeah.
He's called Jacksepticeye.
Okay.
He's like 30 odd million followers on YouTube. He's huge.
Okay.
And all his followers started sending him the video.
Yeah.
Look at this Irish guy. So he dedicated 1 hour to just the greatest Irish salesman of all time. And when he started the video off, he just started taking the piss out of me.
Yeah.
Next day eventually he was like, I love this guy. This guy's crazy. This guy's the new lead. He's amazing,
Fuck,
right?
you needed to put your link in his fucking...
The worst part, mate, right? He had 8 million views. And he goes, who is this guy? Let's try and find him. I had no social media.
Nothing.
I had nothing. I didn't have a clue, like, you know?
Fuck.
So then...
This is the concept I've been preaching to Wolfie. It's
Yeah.
like you just, that one thing that goes viral, if you don't have a body of work for everyone to go back and check, they'll be like, oh, well.
Yeah.
That's
what you
the
should
fuck
do.
does
We'll
it
give
matter?
us the link, put it in the show notes, and then put it in the thing.
Yeah.
And everyone buys a Chopzilla or a potato peeler.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think that guy, he sent me a few messages. He wanted me to do something with a coffee brand for him.
We should have got you to bring the Chopzilla in. Yeah, and done a in person.
We can do a live demo next time.
We
next
do
step.
live demos, that'd be funny, mate. Funny sketches. But I think, that happened, and that blew me up on the internet, and there was memes all over the internet.
Point it. There you go.
Yeah, there was memes all over the internet, and one of the lines I wrote was like, "Granny's got arthritis. She can't be doing that." So all these cartoons of grannies doing this, flexing, and me next to her looking at her like this, It was all over Reddit, it was huge in Reddit.
Do you chuck any of these stories in your comedy? Because I know you do Irish storytelling.
Yeah, so
which I'll watch is just you even put the fucking mic down. You just yell at the crowd.
Yeah, yell at the crowd. That's what I said to him. I just goes, "Guys, let's make it more authentic."
Yeah.
I said, because there's something, I don't know what it is, I got to get my head around it. Maybe it's in my mind, but when I hold the mic like this, but when I put the mic down, I'm using my two hands. I become way more animated.
Yes.
And my brain kind of just locks in.
Yeah.
And
I did notice it.
Yeah. And I feel it. I don't know what it is, but
So you even wanted spotlights down, like you were like, "Nah, I just want the fairy lights and no mic."
Wolfie was the best. Wolfie was like, he's barefoot. He's a gypsy. He's telling stories. He's selling out.
That was
Wolfie was the best,
mate. It was the best and worst at Fringe with like that room, like you two talking at the back. And I feel like because there was funny chats, and I wanted to get involved, but everyone to shut the fuck up as well.
When other people are on.
Mate, it was the worst. I actually loved the back area because it felt like a field.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
good out there. Yeah, I like it. Yeah,
and that's what I was telling people at the start.
If you fill it with people like you were, you were fucking.
Mate,
you were overpacking it.
Mate, there was one stage of one night, right? It was like, there must have been well over 100 people there. Because I was like going, "Guys," and like there was no seats.
Yeah.
And Wolfie was like, "There's no seats," and I goes, "It's okay." So at the start, it goes, "Guys, all the seats are taken. I think there's about 20, 30 people standing."
Yeah.
But I was like going, "But it's a real authentic experience to be standing, because when I do it in the pubs in Ireland, everybody's standing."
You've never done a gig in Ireland in your life.
And I'm standing like this, and I just rip into the stories. And but there was one story that I started with, and it was true. I was also working for different blokes, and they were giving me percentages at farming shows around Australia.
Yeah.
And this bloke, he was a gambler. He owed me about a month of 20%, and he was sound out. He was almost like my boss, my buddy, my friend, like. And
but he owed you a month of wages.
Yeah, and I
good mate.
Yeah, and I just turned to him and goes, "Look, I need this money." And he goes, "Look, instead of giving you the money, what if I give you a bit of stock?" And I was his way of saying, "I've no money." And I goes, "All right, so what are you going to give me?" He goes, "I'll give you a van load of stock." So we were doing like all kitchen stuff, and different, maybe some tools. He gave me a van load of whisks.
Whiskey business, baby.
Right? And I was like, but it was a special.
You got to whisk it for the biscuit.
I know, yeah. And he turned around, and there was like a spring-loaded handle, and you push them up and down.
Yeah. I know those ones.
He turned around to me and he was like going, "You'll sell them out. You'll sell these out. They're really popular." And I was like, "Mate, where can I do them in Western Australia?" And he goes, "No, you can't do them here. You have to do them in Brisbane."
Why?
And you swear he said Brisbane was just like pointing to Mandurah. Like,
why weren't you allowed to do them here? Because it was his.
He said he sold the rights to someone here for him.
Oh my God.
So I went over to Brisbane, and then he said, "Do markets, sell them, do a shopping centre."
Yeah.
But I started listening to some other bloke in my ear, and he was like, No, invest all your money in a big food and wine show in Brisbane." So I went to the food and wine show in Brisbane. I booked it through an agent.
Did you drive the van there with the shit?
I drove all the way across Australia to sell all these, right? I just was like, no radio in the van, no aircon. I hit a kangaroo outside Dubbo. I'm driving the van into this town in Dubbo late at night. Everybody's drinking on the street Saturday night.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise there was a small kangaroo just strapped to the front of the van like this.
The whole time.
Stuck like this into the van. Because I thought I went underneath the van. You're just going non-stop. And everybody was giving me the finger.
Wait. Did you hit a kangaroo? Thought you went over it.
Yeah, and it was just stuck straight to the grill of the van, right? Like this, glued to the van. And I was thinking, what's that smell? It's an awful smell, right? So I was driving, right? No aircon, right? It was so hot. And next thing in the town, and the worst part was I had an Irish flag on the top of the van.
Yeah.
With a kangaroo in the front dead. So all these guys in the street were like this. And next thing they saw the kangaroo, they were like, "Hey, man, what the fuck? Give me the finger." And I was like, going, "Beep, beep, 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 beep." Yeah, lads, Saturday night, like. And then I got out in a petrol station, and his mother was like grabbing her kids, going, "Oh, that's awful. What's he doing?" It looked like I did it on purpose, like Mad Max. And I said,
Mad Max, like, "Oh, you've got the trophy."
So now I'm in the middle of a petrol station pulling this tail of a kangaroo trying to get it off. This guy in the Ush's trying to videotape me. He was like,
Where was it? Was it stuck in the grill or did you have a roobar or was it just
no
straight?
rhubarb,
Oh,
just
fuck.
stuck right. It was like melted in like
Oh.
wax.
What, you didn't... What? So what? You don't remember hitting that, or you do?
I hit
This
it.
is how people die, man. Like,
Yeah.
they just think it's a kangaroo.
Right, so like I was behind this road train, and
Yeah.
I said I'll go behind it, to get the wind.
Yeah.
Right, so I was stuck behind.
You get in
it.
the toe.
Yeah, and the next mate, this little kangaroo just jumped straight between us, and I didn't even move. Because
Yeah.
the old
You're
fella
not
back
supposed
home,
to, Yeah,
you're not meant
the
to,
old fella
yeah.
when I was younger, I was like going, if you ever hit a rabbit or a fox in the road, never swerve, hit it straight on. So I was like going, boom.
Yep, same thing with
And
it.
If it's a big kangaroo,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was dead, like, but it went straight under.
Yeah.
That I thought. Next thing I was like, there's no point stopping. Just keep going, pump it on. Like, I was looking at my time to get to Brisbane.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
yeah,
fucking hell.
that was mad.
Yeah, that is the worst because it's not the hitting. It's obviously not great, but swerving. That's
Oh,
where you,
swerving.
when you swerve to miss the kangaroo or fucking cow or whatever. Well, you
I
probably
reckon
don't want to hit a cow.
350 apps. I don't reckon we've ever shared like this advice
Yes.
for our international listeners.
international listeners, drive
never
through a
swap.
drive
kangaroo.
through. But the big ones, try and brake, but just don't swerve. Because if you do hit it,
Oh, it's gonna
it could
fuck.
go through your windscreen and fucking kill you.
Who's got the joke?
Dave Tuffley.
Dave
My
Tuffley?
wife
Yeah.
didn't want to pet the kangaroo. Mind you, it was shattered in covered glass in the front seat. He goes, it came right up to her. It was in her lap.
Yeah, that's
it was
it.
covered in shattered
That's
glass
great joke. I
through
know
the
that
front
joke.
windscreen.
Oh, Tuffley, that's
Yeah,
good.
man, he's some bangers, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you sell your whisks?
So I ended up going to Brisbane, showed up, bought myself a chef's jacket. I said I'll show the whole crowd how to make Irish brown bread or something.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Irish brown bread?
I don't even know. And I said I just thought it'd be a novelty.
It's bread, but
It's just bread, but he called it Irish brown bread.
brown bread. He's Irish.
It was imported.
And I was thinking like BBC, like a lot of these shows, you start recognizing people at the different shows. And when I was setting up, I didn't recognize anyone. And I started looking around. I was like, I don't know any of these guys, you know? So I was doing it now for about 2-3 years. Guys, I didn't book into the food and wine show. By accident, the agent made a mistake. He booked me into the Sexpo.
People are going, oh, what's this thing?
I'm at
What's
the
this
fucking
dildo?
Brisbane
is
Sexpo, dressed up as a chef with a fucking whisk. Right over here, there's guys selling dildos. Over here, there's another guy selling vibrators. Across from me, there was a guy called Picasso.
Picasso.
He used to take his dick out, put it into paint and paint.
Yeah, he was
with
on
dicks,
Australia's
right?
Got Talent.
Yeah, man. He was
Yeah.
there. There was people over here with horse masks on,
So what's-
whipping people. And I'm trying to make fucking Irish brown bread with a whisk, dressed as a chef.
But it does pump like you're jerking it off.
Yeah. So next thing, mate, everybody was coming up going, saying I was the weirdo. Yeah. They were like going, well, what was it? And I also I called it the sexy Swiss whisk. So I fucking just lean in, lost my money, wouldn't give me my money back. So now I'm at the Sexpo selling the Swiss. And I went home, and this is how I got it.
Oh, the money's gone. He can't get to the food and wine expo.
Like, this is how I got into the comedy. So I went home, and then I was like, going, fuck, mate.
Did you sell any of the first night?
No, they was laughing at me. I was puce red. There was strippers with their tits out, standing in front of me, porn stars. I'm trying to go, put your cream in there, give it a stir. And next day I went home that night, took out
What are you going to whisk?
And I just started writing jokes and started writing like funny ideas. So then the next day I walked in and I just jumped on the stand and I just said, all right, fuck this. And Picasso was pissing me off because he was like going, he was like, friend, what are you doing here? This guy's a weirdo. And he's like, you're covered in fucking, you're naked with paint on you. Oh my God. So I jumped on the stand and I just left off a huge, I was like, ladies and gentlemen, I know what you're thinking. What am I doing at the Sexpo?
Yeah.
What a whisk. Let me show you right now. This is no ordinary whisk, right? So the crowd was coming over and I was like, these are normally valued at $50. I'm giving 20 of them out for free. So they're all in front of me, all these porn stars, strippers, people buying dildos and vibrators. And next thing anyway, I started and I said, there's dildos over there. There's vibrators over there. But there's nothing. And I was like this, there's nothing for practicing this when you go. And I just started handing them out so the whole table was shaking out because everybody's pumping these whisks up and down. And I was like, if you don't like your boss, you bring in a bit of instant soup and you just start making instant soup. Make direct eye contact with your boss and you don't blink, right? If you don't like your neighbours, and I know some of you don't like your neighbours, you take your top off, you throw some water on your face, you put the jug of cream underneath the windowsill, and you do this and you wave at your neighbours out the window. And I was like going, they're not $50, they're $20. You all get one for free. Sold out of the whisks, and I started comedy.
Wow. How much did you make?
Fucking awesome.
I don't know, about $8,000 or something.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Fucking
Over
hell.
the next 2 days.
It's all about how you frame it.
Yeah.
Like everything is perception.
Everything.
Back to our pod the other day.
Yesterday, yeah.
Everything is story.
That's
It's
insane.
I met this old boy years ago. He was like a famous pitch man from Canada, and he met me at the markets. And I said, "Oh, I'm looking at this product. Do you think this will sell for 40 or 50? And he said some line that I always remember. He goes, "It's never the product. It's always how good the story is." He said, "It depends how good the story is."
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like Instagram reels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, just hook him with a good story. So, but
Because you can sell anything, right? You told me about how you went to the 4-wheel drive expo and the guy couldn't sell the solar panels or something and you sold them out.
oh yeah, that was first years ago. The solar panels were starting, and this old bloke, he was trying to make the solar panels, and he bought all the equipment. That was a Sparky, so I started putting them together for him. And he said, we're going to sell them for like $500 or something. This was years ago.
Yeah.
And I said, great, not a bother. So
Were you at the show with him?
Yeah, I was helping him because he was kind of like, he was getting a bit older and he was
Yeah.
kind of struggling a bit. So I said, I'll come in and give him a hand the odd day. You know, he was a nice bloke. So I was in to give him a hand. And he was really struggling with the solar panels. And some wealthy guy came over that just bought a fucking $100,000 caravan, you know? And he was kind of showing off to his new young wife, you know?
Yeah.
And he came up and he was like, what is this? And he kind of kicked it. Like, he kicked it like, you know, as if like, what is this? Is this solar? And then I kind of looked at him and was like, oh yeah, it's solar, you know,
Yeah.
And then I just went full out. Like, I just kind of was like, all right, I'm going to see if I can. And he bought 2 sets of it.
Yeah,
and then this guy was hugging me. He was nearly crying. He was like, oh.
But what was the take on it? Because he wasn't selling any on his own and you flipped the script. You pitched to his wife?
Yeah, I said to him, I saw that he was kind of an alpha male guy and he was showing off to his young wife.
Yeah.
You know, so I just kind of turned around and I was like going, look, you're in the middle of nowhere, you're breaking down, he's had a few drinks, you know. You want to boil your water, the batteries go dead. It might never happen, it could happen, you know. Solar panel, you know, the environment, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, next thing she was looking at him like as if like, we need this. We need this. And he was like, do we? And she was like going, we definitely need this, you know. And I was like, you can strap it at your house at home. If you want, you have a sister or a friend, you can give it to them. It's a great gift. They'll be happy. They'll remember you every time they use it, you know. The next thing your mom was like, yeah, we'll have 2 of them. You know?
So
Throw down the money, you know.
yeah, because I'm watching your brother at your gig
Jamie.
the other night sell
Yeah.
people. I can't do it, man.
my brother
I
actually pitched my kids a cunt stubby holders. So instead of going 1, he goes, well, you got a stubby. You need 2. You drink it with a friend.
Yeah.
You got to get a second one.
Yeah.
He's just doing
Whereas
it
I'm sitting
naturally.
there going, are you sure?
Yeah, you sure you are?
Are you sure? No. But I was watching him and going, I couldn't be a salesman. I don't have it
It's
in
a
me.
different skill.
I think like
That's why I said to Ronnie, I was like, I got to believe in the product. He's like, yeah, just believe in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like for me, I was always just like telling the story. I think I was always kind of doing jokes naturally. I was always just like making people laugh because I always found that if you make people laugh, it's way easier than to say, look, that's how much it is, mate. If you want it, but they're laughing for 10 minutes.
So how recent's your transition into comedy been then?
5 years ago. 5
Yeah, okay.
years ago. So I lent in doing the story. I was just doing that story on stage with the whisk. I had loads of stories, but another one that happened was a lot of stuff came from the pitching as well, more in the comedy. Like it changes your whole mindset because it's a savage amount of like, if you tell someone, I'm selling potato peelers on the street.
Yeah.
They just look at you as if it just frazzles people's brains, you know? Until they see it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, so I love that when you meet people that do something completely different. But I remember being
It's almost like they're giving you $20 for a show and they get a potato peeler
Yeah.
as the secondary thing.
Yeah. Like I remember blokes just giving me $10 and saying, mate,
Keep it. I don't want to
I'm
feel.
never going to use this, but this was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And then I was naming stuff. I started naming stuff like going, and I started giving things voices. Like,
Yeah.
Tomato. Hello, everybody.
Elmo.
This is Tomato here, and he's getting bullied by the pumpkin. And I'm like,
2 carrots walk into the bar. That's another joke for another day. and then I'd be looking around, and sometimes, and then like, I don't know what it is. I think in the morning, when I always say this, like, I wish I could do the comedy show in the morning, because when I'm on coffee, I don't do any stimulants, but if I have a coffee, the stuff that I do in coffee shops in the morning to make different baristas laugh, you know? But I remember being in your Monday markets last year before I went to Edinburgh, and I needed to clear out some stock I had in storage over there. And I was like, oh, this bloody, what am I going to do with this? So I was like,
what was it?
It was like a grater and a spiral for making spaghetti, like vegetables.
Like zucchini spaghetti?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
and I
them.
had bunches of them. Some bloke gave them to me, and I just cleared it. So I went in the stand, so... I was like, but with the comedy and stuff, I think what it is as well is I've lost that I've gained, I suppose, that rejection.
Yeah,
It doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's a great skill to have. I don't care what people think of me. I said this to some fella years ago. He was like, "Aren't you worried what people think of you?" And I goes, "Mate, I sit on a milk crate in Swanston Street selling a potato peeler. Do you really think I care what people think of me? Like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I said I couldn't care less. It's a superpower a little bit.
I'm about to say quite powerful. Like, you
so
don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. So I was in your Monday markets. The old boys that the manager was there. He booked me in, and he just remembered me from years ago. And he said, "I'm going to put you here now. There's candles over here, Ron. There's people selling their own homeware products.
Yeah.
Take it easy. Don't get too loud, you know." And I said, "Not a bother." You know? And I was thinking, I didn't want to upset it, because there was an old lady here selling candles. And I was like, I can't get too loud here. Lady's just selling candles. So I had an idea. So I left the stand.
That's respectful.
I would I walked straight into the middle of the road, out in the market, away from everybody. And I just started looking up at the sky. And I said, "Is this what you want me to do? Is this what you want me to do? I'll do this only one time only. Only because you told me to do it." So everybody's saying, "This guy's having a meltdown." So there's people looking. There's a guy holding the lollipop to stop traffic.
Yeah.
He's looking at me. There's people looking at me. And I goes, "Only one time only." And then I just looked up and I goes, "Now they're looking at me." The whole street is stopping. I goes, "They're normally $50, but now I will be giving them out for free because you told me to do it."
Talking to God.
Yeah, and I walk back to the stand, and the whole crowd just comes down the street. And then I'm like going, all right. And then
What was this, the spiral thing?
spiral thing? And then I started off, and I was like, "Put your cucumber in there now. Are you okay to go in there?"
Oh my God.
It's very safe. So, and I'm like, "It's nice and steady, nice and slow." And then I look at some burly guy, and I'm like you when you were on the honeymoon. Nice and steady, cracking jokes.
Yeah.
And then I cleared out the whole stock. The whole street bought it. And then I goes, "But guys, the reason I'm here today is this lady over here with the candles told me I should come here and do this. She's my inspiration. She's the reason I'm here every week, and she makes handmade candles. She sold out all her candles."
That's right. That's some good feel good. I like that.
Mate, and I actually had to give her a hand packing the candles.
Yeah,
and then at the end of the day, I thought she would just go, "Oh, this is amazing." And then she just looked at me. She goes, "I have no more for Sunday market."
You've just sold everything you're aiming to sell, you fucking idiot.
And then I was lazy. She wasn't doing it for the money. She was just doing it for a social scene. I wiped out her month of stock.
She's just there to chat.
That's her hobby. That's her hobby.
Man, I had some mad ones. I never done on stage yet, but I was just thinking about when people had close calls.
With the bikies?
Yeah, with the bikies, you know. I was in there was another one, a Lebanese gang in Broadmeadows.
Don't name them,
in
but
Melbourne. Yeah.
there was a unnamed ethnicity
Ethnicity,
that like to gather together.
Yeah, I like to gather together with all the bun bags on or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you with the bikie one, right? So I was doing this vegetable chopper, and it was in Morayfield.
Allegedly.
Yeah, Morayfield, allegedly. And next thing, I can't even say that word. And next thing, I was on the stand, and I was doing a vegetable chopper, and it was all elderly ladies on this morning. They were there. They were all around me, and I was like, "Now it's very important. You put 2 hands on the vegetable chopper. Nice, and I'll give it a go." And they were loving it. It was a great machine. It was one of the best ones I had, like the one we put on TV.
Yeah.
And they're all buying it. And I seen this bloke come up through the crowd in the shopping centre. Huge. I was like 6'6".
Yeah.
All patched up, bikey, like this was like 8 years ago. And he came up and started shouting, "You!" Fucking, he was effing and blinding, you know? Like, "You Irish, blah, blah, you fucking gypsy." You bastard." And I was like going, oh God. And I was standing on the milk crate. This guy looked like he was going to kill me, you know?
Yeah.
And all the women were there. And I was like, and next thing he came up and he pulled out a plastic bag. The whole thing was broken to pieces. And he goes, I used it 3 or 4 times. The whole thing exploded in my hand. And he was like, me and you are going to talk right now, mate. Give me my money back. And I'm going to bring you outside the shop center. Like, it was really, like, violent. Like.
Yeah.
And I just stood my ground because when I'm behind the stand, I don't know, it's like my house.
Yeah.
Something.
It's like when people get a microphone.
Yeah. And next thing I just stood there. Next thing I just looked at him and I said, can I ask you a question now? And I said, I'll give you your money back. And I was going to raise my voice, matching him.
Yeah.
And he was kind of thrown back by that, like.
Yeah.
And then a huge crowd stopped in the shop.
Fuck, that would be terrifying.
20, like, elderly ladies there. There's families and prams there. And I goes, how did you use it? And next thing, he went with one hand on my chopper and he just went, bang. And next thing I just goes, all right. And I goes, ladies.
Let's show this guy.
What did we just talk about? And all these elderly ladies just looked at him. And it was like an Italian lady. An Italian. She was like, you didn't use your 2 hands. You didn't use your 2 hands. The man said 2 hands, 2 hands. And they're all saying 2 hands. And one lady's poking him like this, right?
Some nonna over there.
And the man, like, he looked like a guy that was just out of jail, like, you know. And he was just going, they're all starting, they was like going, you need 2 hands. The lovely man, the 2 hands. So all these old ladies are showing this giant bikey how to press down on a baby potato. And next thing I'm looking, kind of standing back, going, all right, this is working, you know. And they're like, they're good. Now do another one. And next thing he's doing it anyway. And next thing I was like going, look, I said, I'll give you your money back, or do you want another one? And he goes, I'll have another one. And he looked at me like this, and I was like, he'll have another one. Everybody, team effort, right? And then he stopped and he goes, if this breaks, I'll come back in Monday, he says, and be dragging you out of here. And I goes, I'll be here Monday morning waiting for you. Mate, I never packed up so fast. Sunday night, mate, I was gone, mate. The shopping centre manager was saying, when are you coming back? I was like,
Never.
Mate, I'm never coming back there again.
Oh, fucking hell.
And I was describing it to another local boy. He was like a mechanic. He used to fix up bikes and stuff. And I was like describing this guy. And he said, if it's the guy that I'm talking about, he says, that guy,
He's not to be fucked with.
He's like the guy they call, like, you know.
Oh, fuck.
He's like, fellow, oh, mate.
That wasn't even the Bucky story you told me. That's a whole different one.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you were like teasing them, calling them girls or something, or
Oh yeah. Me and my brother we were up in Cairns and we were selling bed sheets off a truck in Cairns at the Cairns Royal Show, and the brother used to get pretty loose with the crowd, and the bikies were walking past, like they were walking past the crowd, and we had crowds up, and we were actually handing out the ShamWow for free. Like, free ShamWow, it was so popular.
you, Vince.
It's just get the crowd around the table, you know.
Yeah.
$20. And next thing, these guys were walking past, and my brother started shouting. He was like going, you want the baby blue? You're back for the baby blue, lads, and the baby pinks. I've Minnie Mouse ready. And these guys were like looking as if like, who are you talking to? Like, you know. But same thing, like when you have loads of people in the crowd look back and
Safety
laugh.
in numbers.
They're laughing, like, you know.
Yeah.
And one of the guys was kind of half laughing. He was like, no, fucking no, you're gypsy. And next thing your man was like going, not funny, mate, not funny. We'll talk later when there's no crowd here. And I was like going, we pinky blue. Right? And then later on they're laughing, you know.
Yeah.
But the funniest one I had was like Broadmeadows shopping centre. I was working with another bloke that I was kind of training up, and he was meant to go to the centre. And when I went into the centre, I was like, hey, if I send this bloke here, they're going to kidnap him. Like, he's so friendly and nice. Like I said, mate, they'll just take this guy. They'll take all his money. So I said, I'll go and do it, you know. So I went in.
Broadmeadows is a rough area, right?
Yeah, it was pretty
That's
rough.
where Swanee grew up.
Yeah, I remember the first 2 days I was there, they broke the van and tried to break the van steering lock. But anyway, I was there anyway, and bought a chain for the steering lock. But I went in, and some Turkish barber in the centre, he said, don't stay Thursday night. Not late night shopping, close up, leave.
Yeah.
He said, all these kids come in, gangs come in. Not good, not safe for you, you know? And I was like, yeah, not a bother. And I was like, I could care less. Some Thursday night I might do a few more sales. So I'm inside Broadmeadows, and I'm doing this vegetable chopper thing again. I'm slicing up carrots and onions. I'm doing well all day, and I had a coffee, and I said, you know what, I'll stay the night. This gang walked through, pure, like 20 lads, all bun bags on, all black, like early 20s, whatever, you know, strolling through. They start kicking the stand. I was like, oh, lads, surround the stand, like, and they're looking at me, you know. And one fella, like, he was like going, this was like when the Middle East was going on and stuff. And some fellas were signing up for the Middle East, and they were like going, you American, you an American, you're a Yankee here and stuff like this. And I was like going, no lads, I'm Irish, Ireland, you know. And I was like going, and next thing again I changed my tonality, you know, and they all came around the front and they were like going, oh yeah, show us how it works, and they were throwing vegetables around and stuff. And again, my safety thing is the cleaver. Cleaver out of the table like this, you know, and I just kind of flick it, you know, but they weren't intimidated, you know, and I stuck it into the pumpkin. I was like, I'll show how it works. And I just changed my whole persona, like big loud voice, and I was getting loud, and I was doing the pitch, but it was like aggressive pitch. It was so aggressive, right? That even the Turkish barber guys were there. They were closing up the door. It was like the Wild West. There was a fellow over here, pushing vegetable. He was staring out like this, and I was like, all these lads were looking at me, and I was staring at the leader of the group. You know, I spotted him like kind of the hardy like guy, and I was like, boom, in with your onions, your tomato. I goes, they're normally fucking $120. I wanted them to think I was a lunatic. But I goes, today is $50. And I goes, I do 2 for 90. But I want to ask you a question. And they're looking at me.
Do you feel lucky?
And I was looking at me like this, and they were all the guys in the back row were looking at each other, and they were looking. The leader of the group was still staring me down, like, you know, I couldn't back down. And I was like going, and I said, I don't know, can you answer this honestly? I says, I goes, do you love your mother? And he was like, what? What you say about my mother? I goes, do you love your mother? Are you too much of a big man to say that you love your mother in front of your friends? And your man goes, yeah, I love my mother. I goes, how many times has your mother cooked you food? He goes, how many times has your mother cooked you food? Or your mother? Are you too proud? I said, to get your mother something nice to make your mother smile. Can you imagine how happy your mother would be right now smiling? I goes, everybody's looking at you, I says, and they're wondering, do you love your mother? Are you liar? And your mom was like going, I love my mother. And I was like, well then show me. And he opened show me the money. He opened up the bun bag. He took out a wad of 50s and he goes, give me 2 more. And I was like, 2 for 90. He was like, keep the change. And I was like, there you go. And I was so tempted to say, this guy has 2 moms, but I didn't. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, going, who else? And then your man goes, and he didn't want to feel bad. He was like, you all have moms? And they all bought it, mate. I swear 20 people bought it. I took a grand offer, right? Hell. And they were all walking away with their choppers, vegetable choppers. And I was like, they're fuming now, like sweat coming out of me going,
And then they just wait for you and get their money back.
And they all just walked away. Mate, the Turkish guy came out with the Turkish barber and he was like going, he said, I had a brush. He goes, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. He was like, my uncle, my father, we all sell in Turkey. He said, this, I will never forget it. Then the other guy came out, they were all surrounding me and we're all talking about it. And they were like, do you want a drink of water? And I was coming down like, packed up again, mate. Walked out of there, mate. Yeah. That was
I would have laughed if they were just waiting for you to get their money back. Like, here, buddy. We'll take our money.
That's incredible. That's such a good positive spin on it.
Yeah.
That's the way
Do you love your mother?
Do you love your mother?
Fuck. Fuck. You mentioned coffee earlier. When we got a coffee this morning, you told us the story how you were at Amos's.
Yeah.
And you thought you were dying because you had too much coffee.
Oh, yeah. So, like, I went over to visit Amos in the last year, the year before, 2 years ago, and it was he had a place in Playa Vista. So I was staying in his apartment.
In Adelaide?
No, this was in Los Angeles. Oh. I said I'd come over. I said I'm going to have a look at all the clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was actually just kind of watching all the clubs because I didn't know anyone to get up. Amos introduced me to some people in the green room, but he's like a politician. He's so good at introducing you to people. Yeah. But I was kind of like, I'm very good with one-on-one, and when I meet people, I get chatting and stuff. But when I meet a new group, I'm actually pretty kind of quiet, I found out, you know. Yeah. But in America, they're very... Oh, I do this, I do that. What do you do? Very ego, kind of strange. Yeah. So I was just standing back and stuff. But anyway, Amos, I was looking after his apartment and I was so bored because he said he'd be back in a week or so, and I didn't know that many people. So I said, I'll have a coffee. So I started brewing up a black coffee.
Yeah.
And another one. fuck it, I didn't know. I had about 3.
Yeah.
And I was bored looking around his cupboards, looking for a chocolate bar or something.
Yeah.
And next thing was like ginseng, vitamin B.
More energy stuff.
Big, huge tablet.
Yeah.
I said, I feel a bit down lately.
Yeah.
Pop one of them. Next thing anyway, I'm fucking just walking around the kitchen and I'm getting a glass of water. My legs just go from underneath me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa. And next thing I was like, jittery, full on panic attack.
Yeah,
I didn't even
yeah.
know what a panic attack was, right?
Yeah.
So next thing anyway, I get over to the couch, my legs go from underneath me and I start blacking out. I'm like, oh God. And I'm like going, I don't know anyone. No one knows I'm fucking here.
Oh my God.
I'm having a heart attack, I'm going to die.
I thought he was dying.
I'm like, God, I'm going to die. So then I started hyperventilating.
Yeah.
Right? So next time on the couch, didn't know anyone. So I ring this wealthy investor, the first guy that I met.
Yeah.
Fucking sound bloke, nice guy. He lived up in Malibu, Santa Monica. He came flying down the highway. So I said, man, I think I'm having a heart attack. You got to get here. No one, right?
Yeah.
So he's coming down there. He's ringing a friend that lives in the air to come in. They call an ambulance and the fire brigade, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fucking thinking like I kept blacking out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, the insurance. I heard the insurance can wipe you out in America, and I had travel insurance.
Yeah.
So it was in my bag. So it was like 5 meters away. So I'm crawling across
Like
his
Wolf of
apartment.
Wall Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to get the insurance out.
Because of coffee.
Yeah. And I keep blacking out. I keep shaking and fucking. I'm like, going, oh, I'm going to die here. So I get on the couch. I raise my legs in the air. Next thing, the ambulance come in. I conked out. I woke up. And next thing, the whole room was full of it. They're strapping me up to the machine. They're saying, mate, we think you're having a fucking heart attack, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and next thing, they were like, what did you take? And I was like, oh, back on me. Right? And they were like, ginseng and stuff. And they were like, going, man, you're having a full-on panic attack.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's a panic attack? But the funniest part was that I didn't realise Amos came back from doing a gig in Las Vegas and bought loads of bags of Mike Tyson's edibles. So they were right by my head, by the couch. So the guys kept on, man, did you take anything else? Are you on anything else?
Yeah.
Right? The bag was open right by my head. I was like, man, I don't do anything.
Yeah.
I can't even drink coffee, mate. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, no, you're right, prevent me, just relax, you know?
Yeah.
So they headed away. But they must be thinking this guy's out of his mind.
Yeah.
The old boy shows up. Now, he's a bit of a hypochondriac, right?
Yeah.
And he's behind me. I'm still, like, not feeling well. And he's behind me with his buddy. And he just goes, a few months ago, friend rang me up from England, said he had a bit of a heart tremor. Dead. And I'm like going, mate, shut up, right? And he was like going, knew another guy years ago, came to America, great guy, dropped dead.
Oh my God.
And I'm like going, mate, I'm not over it, like, just relax.
up, yeah.
And next thing he was like going, mate, all my friends, dead.
Dead.
Big pitch man in America like that. What I'm doing, he was called Billy Mays.
Yeah.
He goes, do you know how Billy Mays died? And I was like going,
Ginseng.
and he was like going, heart attack. I'm like going, Jesus Christ, would you shut up? I think I'm going to die. And he was like, I got to go. And I'm like going,
Fucking hell.
How'd you meet that guy? Because for him to drive down, that's like...
That was the guy that I met in Malibu, yeah.
Oh, what, the card guy?
Yeah, the car guy.
Yeah, wow.
He was a legend, eh?
That's lucky.
There was some mad stories along the way, hey? But, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I got into the storytelling and the comedy was
Yeah.
just like that, mate.
Storytelling's good. It sucks everyone in. Like, they're all good, those stories.
Yeah.
Like, it's good. I guess that's how your comedy.
Yeah, that's how I do it. And I did, I remember, that's a good one that I do in the show as well. It's like, so a few years ago, like I went to Edinburgh just to see what was going on 3 years ago. And I was doing a few little spots, but I didn't know what I was doing really. And I saw Jim Owen. And I went in to see Jim Owen. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. He's so funny. Then I saw him a second night. So
I'd love
funny,
to get him on as a guest.
I walked up to him and I was really nervous meeting him, you know. I was walked up and I was like going, oh, can I get a picture with you? My brother loves you, like, he's a big fan of you on TV. So I got a picture of him, sound out, you know. And I was in the back of my mind and I was like going, I wonder, could I do that? Like, you know. And I kind of said to myself, I wonder, could I? So last year I went and like in Edinburgh, to do well in Edinburgh, like you know it as well, like you had got to be either be on the TV in Australia or the UK, big social media following. Those guys sell out.
Or a great name.
Or like,
at Free Fringe.
At Free Fringe. Great name.
But paid Fringe,
Paid
you
Fringe,
need to
mate.
be someone.
You need something, you know. So the guy that I met, this is how I got a promoter in the UK. Actually, it's very funny, mate. Everybody was like, how did you get a promoter?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. bro.
Really? Yeah, everybody was.
I was like, how
I'll
the
tell you
fuck is
how I
Ron-
got one.
I
right?
thought it was through Amos.
Yeah, no, this is great, right? So I'm visiting, got to see Amos as well. And Amos rang me. He was like, Ron, he said, I've fucking 150-seater theatre or whatever booked, 120, whatever. And he says, I've only about 8 people coming.
Yeah.
I'm freaking out. And he said, this guy's meant to be flying for me. I'm a big promoter. This doesn't look good. I have a reviewer coming. Any chance you could come up and help me? And I said, yeah, mate. So I grabbed the coffee.
Had a panic attack. Ginseng.
I was listening to AC/DC or something, walking up to Edinburgh. And then he goes, oh, this is my promoter. So I met his promoter. And he goes, oh, you're Amos's buddy, guy that kind of sells at markets. And I said, yeah. He goes, oh, I used to that years ago, me and my brother. I had a bit of a chat with him, the promoter guy. Sound out, nicest guy ever. And next thing, he had a worker with him, and she handed me this little pack of flyers, this size. And I looked and I goes, is there more than that? And she goes, yeah, we have a bag. But she said, the bag is for a few days. I goes, nah, give me the bag. So I took the bag. I saw a road cone, small road cone. I knocked the end off the road cone. I jumped on top of a table in the middle of the air squares.
Yeah.
And I just jumped on the table and I goes, ladies and gentlemen,
With a road cone.
I have an announcement to make.
Yeah.
The greatest Australian comedian. He's won all the awards. He's the best you'll ever see. He's sold out. He's sold out. But we've just released another 20 tickets. And I said, come over right now. You got to check him out.
Yeah.
We've just got 20 tickets. He's sold out. He's winning all the awards. People were just coming at me. I was giving him flyers. Bam, 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 bam. Telling stories. Blah, blah. He's the best. He's amazing. Rammed his show. Sold his show out.
Yeah.
It
Right?
takes so much balls, man.
Right? So
I could never do
I was up for like an hour and the sweat was coming out of me. And I just wanted to say thank you for like giving me the place to stay in LA.
Yeah.
Next thing, hey, mate, he's going, Ron, what did you do? And he said, my promoter wants to chat to you. So he said, his promoter, right? And next thing his promoter was going to pitch me, I'll pay you. I'll pay you $40 an hour if you work for us and sell us, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, nah, not too bad. And he goes, what do you do? And he was asking Amos, he goes, what the hell does this guy do? And Amos goes,
He sells potato
man, you
peelers.
wouldn't believe it, mate. But he goes, he's savage at storytelling. And he goes, I know, you told me a wild story. And he goes, does he want to do a bit of comedy? And he goes, Amos goes, yeah, he does a little bit in Australia. So your man rang me, said, do you want to meet for coffee? He goes, next year, he said, I'll give you a stage. He says, I'm no fear that you're going to sell your show, you know? So he says, you come in, I'll set you up on a stage, you come in, you'll flyer. And I said, all right, mate, let's have a go, you know?
Yeah.
So I showed up, he backed me, he gave me this massive room, and went in, but I was pure military. I wanted to hang out, but I said, you know what, I'll put my head down, give it a good go.
Yeah.
So I was getting up at 8,
Was
having
this
a breakfast.
last year or the year before?
Yeah, this was
When I saw you last year?
Yeah, last year. So I was
Yeah.
getting up, having a breakfast, bags of flyers. Your man was making more flyers for me than anybody else.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to make you double. And I said, great. I said, we might need more.
Dublin.
So, yeah, Dublin. And I was flyering all over, but then I said, can I have a donkey on the flyer?
Yeah.
And he said, what do you want a donkey for? And I said, just put a donkey on the flyer for me, please. So I put a picture of a donkey and me in the front.
Yeah.
A few little reviews I had from Australia. And I just started shouting all over Edinburgh. Did you know I was doing this?
Yeah,
I don't
nah.
know. I was like,
I just saw you at the coffee shop. I thought you were going to the gym each day.
oh, mate, it was better than the show. I'd go into the street and I'd go, ladies and gentlemen, I lost my donkey. Has anybody seen an Irish donkey? And people were like, what? And I was like, he's a lost donkey. I'm not joking. It's serious. And I was like, if you see him, you'll know it's him. He has a cigarette and he's drinking whiskey. You tell him he's got to be at the show at 7 o'clock tonight, right? Well, handing out hundreds of flyers, right? And I was like, going, he's my brother. Don't tell my
such
mother.
a smart marketing
And I'm
move.
walking all around Edinburgh, right? So next thing, show starts kicking off. 20 people, 30 people, 50. Then we start selling out. 100 people. Your man is telling Amos, I'm out selling Amos.
Oh
and
my
Amos was
God.
loving it, but Amos was still kind of going,
Fuck you.
and Amos was like, well, the biggest kick was Amos goes, how much is your tickets? My tickets were more expensive than Amos's. It was just I had to cover this expensive venue. And next thing Amos was kind of delighted with a little bit, and all the other lads were like going, what the fuck is it? There was a George the Greek.
Yeah.
And George the Greek one day he was saying, I don't know that he didn't mean it in a bad way, but he's like, don't get a reviewer. He said, you don't want a 2-star for your first reviews and stuff. And I was like going,
Yeah.
I'll wait for that now. And next thing I was going, but this is what I wanted to tell you this story for, is the first day I was in Edinburgh, I couldn't find a bank machine. My phone went dead. So I had to stop someone in the street to ask where their bank machine was. And I said, oh, excuse me. I said, I'm looking for a bank machine. Could you tell me where it was? And they said, oh, it's up there to the left. Scottish, there was sound out. I said, thanks very much. I was walking up the street and I said to myself, when's the last time I've asked for someone for directions? I couldn't remember. So I was like, these phones have stopped me talking to strangers. I asked 20 more people where the bank machine was, just like
just to talk to people,
just for a social experiment, like. And I went up to the bank machine anyway, right? So next thing I found the bank machine. I didn't do it any more days. Didn't I got into the fly ring. The last day I was in a green room. I was minding my own business. There was loads of other comics in there. There was Connor Burns and I knew Jim Owen and stuff were in there and these other fellas. And I just kind of minded my own business.
Because they were sharing your stage?
Yeah, they were doing the big room, 300. I had a 100-seater.
Yeah.
And I was having my cup of tea and I'd go straight to the show and I was watching my eat, like you're into fitness. My biggest thing was if I had my food just at the right time and it hit my digestive system, I'd get a burst of energy. But if it went into like an hour before, my brain wasn't working. And I was so confident going on and just talking, like, you know. But if the food could mess me up, that was my own thing, was food and sleep. But I was in the last day and I was in the green room and Jim Owen walked in. See him in years. And next day I was, how's it going? And he goes, you work here? And I goes, yeah, I work here. I was making my cup of tea and he was like, you're Irish? I goes, yeah, I'm from Cork. He goes, what do you do? And he goes, I do a comedy show upstairs, you know. And he goes, are you the Irish guy, Ronnie, that does the stories? And I goes, yeah, I know I got reviewers in.
How the fuck did Jim Owen know you?
Yeah, he goes, because I got 2 5-star reviews. Because one of the reviewers was like, this is the rawest comedic talent we've ever seen. He said, I don't know, this guy's a lunatic or a genius, you know?
Yeah.
I did these mad reviews because I get the crowd going with the stories. And next thing he goes, what time's the show on? And I go, 7. And he goes, I'll come up and watch your show. And I was like, in my mind I was like,
fuck.
yes, but I was like, in my mind I was like, oh no, I don't need this pressure.
Yeah.
He goes, a few of my friends will come see your show. So he came to see me with 2 buddies.
What?
Some Irish comedians that never knew of me in Ireland, never heard of me. They showed up. So there was like 5 or 6 comics at the back of the room.
That's more intimidating than reviewers.
Yeah,
definitely.
The whole room was packed, right? Packed. And I started off, and I never used the mic. I don't use the mic.
Yeah.
Because I figured out I can just, my voice will travel in this room. So I goes, I used to always do this thing going, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. All right, we won't use the mic, guys. But I goes, I need to ask you a question tonight. It's my last day. And I was like, I goes, I'm not very big on social media. I said, I've never been on the TV, I says. I goes, but I said, I'm handing out flyers like there's no tomorrow. I want to know if it's working. Who today heard about me handing out flyers? Mate, the whole crowd just put their hand up, right?
Yeah.
Nearly 100 people. And next thing, Jim Owen just started roaring, laughing in the back room. All the comics were looking at each other, just roaring, laughing, right? Next thing you know,
the whole crowd was from you flying.
yeah, and then there was a group over here didn't have their hands up, and a group over here, and I was like, all right. I goes, how did you hear about the show? Some Scottish guy goes, it's a kind of funny enough story. He said, about a month ago, he said, you walked up to us and you asked us for directions of the bank machine. And I said, all right. I said, fucking hell. And then there's another.
Did you pitch your show to him or not?
Yeah, no, I just said, he said, we saw your sign up and we saw a few reviews and we're like, oh, that's the guy for the bank machine from York. And then there was another group over here. And I goes, all right. And I was like, all right. And next thing I goes, how did you hear about me? And then this other group goes, funny enough, you also asked us where a bank machine was. And there was a crowd in the centre and they said, us too. Mate, the crowd started roaring, laughing, right? And I goes, I need to tell you why I did that. And then I started tying that into the show about going, no. I said, the reason I did that is I says, we don't talk to each other anymore. People don't talk to each other. These phones, I was down in London, everybody's on the phone, I says. Because we don't make contact and we don't communicate. And I said, but in Ireland growing up, we were made to go to church until we were 12. I'm the youngest out of 7. And me and my brothers were getting in trouble in church, Catholic church. Your mother would say, behave yourselves now. No talking. Because her mother was just old school. She'd slap you like that.
Yeah.
And then she'd always go, I hurt my hand. I'll tell your father, right? And we're like, oh. And next thing.
Your face hurt my hand. I'm telling you, Dad.
But I was like, peace be with you. Peace be with you. So me and my brothers had an inside game, like an inside gambling game. How many hands did you shake? I'll shake more than you. So we were like going berserk in the middle of the church.
Saying peace be with you.
Peace be with you. We were jumping over aisles and the mother was like, would you calm down? You're embarrassing me, right?
That's where you got your whisk skills from.
Yeah. Up and down. And next thing, she turned around and I was at the show and I told them that. And then I goes, so tonight, what we're going to do? And I said, I don't like the lights off. The lights are on. I don't use the microphone because I want to make eye contact with you because they say the hardest thing to do is to make people laugh with the lights on. But I said, tonight, the reason the lights are on is I want you to turn around to the people next to you and say hello and shake their hand and say it's nice to meet you. So the whole crowd goes, what? And I go, come on, give it a go. So they're all turning around, shaking each other's hands like this, right?
Was this a plan?
Yeah, no, I was doing it. Like, yeah. And next day I goes, all right, how does that feel? Can I ask you? And they're all like, oh, good. And I was like, going, all right, now take your clothes off. Let's have an orgy. I goes, this is not a TED Talk. This is a comedy show.
Have you seen this whisk?
yeah. And I was like, going, now I know you're wondering, where is the donkey?
Where's the donkey?
And then in the back of the room, there was a group of women. They walked in. They were from Kent, right? And you couldn't make this up. It was all coming together. And they came in from Kent, and they were all just like, hee haw. And they were like on is it a hen night? They call it. And I goes, guys, I need to tell you how I met this group of ladies over here, because I said, I'm in autopilot, and I'm just going, hello, check out the show. I walked up to a table, and I wouldn't have walked up to the table if I saw the group of ladies, because I know you were all drinking all day, and they're all shouting. They were like the worst hecklers ever.
No.
And next thing she goes, and I walked up, and I goes, there's a show here, I lost my donkey, check it out. And then she just turned around to me, and she went, yeehaw. And I looked up, and I saw all their faces, and they were drinking all day, like, and I was like, God. And next thing goes, come on, give me one. And the whole crowd just started cracking up. They were like, hee haw.
So ended up being the perfect show to get the comedians to come to watch.
Next year it's going to be I lost my donkey.
Yeah, I lost my donkey, yeah.
Where the fuck did you come up with the donkey idea, man?
What I wanted to do, and I was, Mickey Bartlett.
Yeah.
I pitched him the idea, but I said I wanted to, I'm good at kind of marketing, like kind of getting attention.
Yeah.
And I said, I wonder, someone told me some guy got on the newspaper years ago for something, and he sold out his show and he was a no one. And I goes, how would I get on the newspaper? So my initial idea was, this sounds mad, but I thought it would definitely work.
Yeah.
I might do it next year, but I probably can't now. But anyway, I was going to get a donkey, like a teddy bear donkey kind of a thing.
Oh,
like
okay.
what do you call them? Like a
plush toy.
Like a plush toy.
Yeah.
Big donkey. Find it on the internet. Put it on a roller, like a skateboard or something, right?
Yeah.
Put a rope on it, right? Big enough, not too big. And start dragging it around up around Edinburgh. Go, my donkey, me and my donkey are doing a show, and we're going to sell out today, get a donkey, and then lift his tail and pull the flyers out of his ass.
Brilliant.
Right? So then I was going to do that. But then I was getting, my imagination goes wild, and I'm like, oh, would I get on the newspaper? That's not enough. And I was like, oh, the Irish with the Catholics and the Protestants.
Yeah, the Jesus vibe.
The sectarianism and all that stuff. So I was like going, what if I get some fella running out, like got the Rangers and the Celtic running out, right? And lighting the donkey on fire and saying, it was a sectarian attack. and I had this image of me on the newspaper, with the Guardian. They burnt my donkey. I'm here to do a show. And I was pitching this to Mickey Bartlett down in Adelaide. And he goes, I'll light it on fire. I don't know, does he remember? Because he was drinking that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that would get on TV.
It would.
Yeah.
But it would also spark a race war.
Yeah. Then I was thinking that. I was but I think maybe
that's great marketing, man.
Yeah, I just have these mad.
Well, it's like I was watching the guy that I wanted to get on our pod. That's the club promoter that does all the behind the scenes stories.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, his name escapes me at the moment, but he was saying there was
Johnny Rants, or what his name is.
Yeah, Danny Rants.
Danny Rants.
So he had two great stories. It's just genius marketing. The first one, he got someone at his work to get a burner phone, SIM card, and text in, hey, this is James's mum. He partied too hard on the weekend. He's gone into hospital. We're going to put you guys up for bills. And they screenshot how much of a good time this guy had, but had to go to hospital and was getting charged for bills. So he put that on his story and the news got hold of it. And then it built and it built and it built. And they wanted to do an interview about this nightclub that was too much. And from that, everyone started going to the club that was like dead.
Whoa.
He self-marketed by tricking the media. Yeah. And the other one was the clown thing that went around. You remember how people were finding clowns just standing by the side of the road?
Yeah.
So they just set one up right next to his nightclub sign, big sign, took a photo, and then again did from a burner phone. 2 a.m, clown was here, blah, 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 right next to the nightclub. And then the media picked it up and shared his nightclub everywhere. Going, I was at this club, and it was just guerrilla marketing.
Man, yeah, it's the best.
So smart, man.
Yeah, just little. I think what it is like something that's massively memorable.
Yeah.
I would love to kind of get into marketing, but I suppose I am doing it a little bit, I suppose, on the TV.
Yeah. That's what this is, really.
Yeah, this is,
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, it's just marketing.
That's what jumping on a pod is for a lot of comedians. It's like, we'll get my face out there so people can see it. And
I'd like to pitch you an idea now. I want to do a pod, you know, but I was thinking, I was saying to Stelby, like, you know, I was like, I was thinking, like, I was trying to pitch Wolfie, but he's like, I'm doing too many things, right?
Yeah.
And next thing I was like,
never pitch Wolfie.
Yeah. I said, I was like, we tried it one day, but everybody told me, well, he's going to be talking more than me. So I blame Coffee. Man, he couldn't get a word in. So next thing,
so you did a practice with Wolfie.
Yeah. And next thing, he told everybody, he's
like,
like, he dominated. I couldn't get a word in. He's the worst, right? And next thing, right? And next thing, he was like, I can't do you a pod with you. But then I was thinking, they'll place Wolfie with a chicken. You know, like a chicken? You know? He's going to love that.
Chicken King.
A chicken, right? So then I was thinking, how good would it be if I'm talking into the microphone and there's a chicken here and I'm telling the chicken the stories? And then I could do serious stories because the chicken is a little bit of humour.
That's funny.
It's funny, mate.
I think it's funny.
Talking about White across the road.
Yeah. And then I was like, I've nowhere to keep a chicken. So I was like, and he was like, put a hen house in the back.
Yeah. Well, I used to have chickens, man, but I wouldn't bring it to the studio.
No.
You end up with shit everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, no, not here. But like just, even if I sit him down on a bench, I was even in Scarborough.
It's a good idea.
And I'm like, going, how's it
you
going,
don't even
guys?
need a studio. You need a camera.
Yeah, a camera. And a
and
microphone.
just do it out the back.
Microphone.
Yeah, and just sit him there. I might do that, so I'll start that soon.
I think it's a fucking hilarious show.
I just like going, oh, guys,
I think if you just told something that was just so irrelevant as well, and it's just, there's a chicken there. Why is a chicken there? Just don't even reference it.
Yeah, I need
just
someone to talk to.
Yeah.
I was even saying that to you on the way here, like, you know, like writing and coming up with stories. All the stuff comes out when I'm talking.
Yeah. All the best material is from riffing, man. Bouncing ideas off someone.
So if I have a chicken, imagine the people looking.
We should give you ghost stories. We should give them some ghost stories to tell.
Yeah.
We should have
got the chicken or just here?
We should have just given
I've
you
got a
some
couple that I screenshotted the other day.
Yeah.
Sweet. And we'll probably have to finish with this. So it's 1:35.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, good. Well,
cool.
Fuck, we should have given, next time we'll give you like 7 stories or find your own ghost stories and come back on.
Do you have any ghost stories that have happened to you? Like in real life?
A ghost, is it?
Like ghost or
any
weird?
ghost or glitch in the Matrix or any...
Oh, mate, I have this thing and it happened to me like the start of last year. Yeah, it's definitely a glitch in the Matrix. So I'll tell you what happened, right? I was down in Manly and I was down doing a few... I was down visiting a brother in Manly. And I said, you know what, I'll book into a hostel because he had a kid and stuff in the spare room. And I said, I'll just book into a local hostel. So I booked into the local hostel and they put me in this room and there was 2 blokes in the room. Nicest guys you'd ever meet, right? One guy came in from New Zealand. He was just looking for a job. Mm-hmm. The other guy was doing a sailing course, right? And I really clicked with the guy who was doing the sailing course, but he was from Cornwall. Mm-hmm. Cornwall. And I was having a great chats with him, down to earth, the other bloke from New Zealand. And every night, I was just telling stories. And the lads were like, Jesus, mate, these are hilarious. You know, I was getting them chatting stories and we were having a mighty time. And we weren't even going out in the drink or anything. We were just in the house. It was like a campy little trip in the tent. We were even saying, we were like, this is brilliant every night. The lads were like, are you in the room? And it was just 3 of us in our own room. And that guy was from Cornwall. And he was telling me about Cornwall, and I didn't realise that in Cornwall they also speak their own language, like in Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. Their own
Cornish, is that right?
Cornish. Yeah, I didn't even know. And he was telling me that. He was telling me about Cornwall. I left, said goodbye to them, and I kind of missed them. There were 2 sound lads. I was only there for a week. I was like, jeez, I missed those lads. They were great. And I drove up the coast, and I hit Yamundi, the Sunshine Coast, and I walked into this bar. I said, I'll get a drink, and I was chatting to your man, and his English accent. And I goes, all right, mate, what's the crack? What's the story, blah, blah, where are you from? I said, I'm from Ireland, I'm from County Cork, where are you from? And he said, Cornwall. And I goes, I never met people from Cornwall. I said, I just met the last guy I met telling me about Cornwall. He goes, that's mad. So then the next day, I'm walking through Noosa, right? And I'm asking some girl, she rented a surfboard. I said, where'd you get the surfboard, right? And this is like 2 days later. And she goes, there's a rental crowd down there. I goes, thanks very much. And I goes, you're from England, where are you from? And she just looked at me, she goes, Cornwall. And I goes, I didn't even tell her, but I was like, that's mad. Yeah. I'll be from Cornwall. So next thing anyway, I walked into a coffee shop in Noosa, right? And I was there a few days later, and this guy behind the counter, and I heard it in an English accent when I was outside, and I was like, this motherfucker's from Cornwall. This is getting weird. No, this is getting really weird, right? Went in, he had a mullet, right? Mullet, cool dude, like very friendly, smiley. He was making the coffee like that. And I said, I was finding the drink, and I was like, just ask him. Like, and I was in my brain. He was looking at me because I'm staring at him a bit too hard.
Yeah.
Like, does this guy know me or something? And he goes, all right, mate, what can I get you? And I said, I have just coffee, whatever, flat white, whatever. And I was like, where are you from? And he was looking at me, he was like, England. And I goes, I know that. What part? And he was like, Cornwall. Oh, I fucking freaked out.
Just in a coffee shop.
Like, and then I explained to him everything, and he just looked at me and he was like, this gets even weirder, right? He goes, whoa. And I was like, man, I told him everything. And I was like, I even know my getting here. Everything. And I was like, this is mental. This is weird, right? And I was like, maybe there's nothing to it. It's a coincidence, whatever. Just fob it off. Go to Yamundi, and to waste a bit of time, I used to live there for years. I used to live there for about 5 years, a long time ago. And next day I went to this bookstore, and I walked into the bookshop. This was like the same week or the week after, and I walked into the bookshop, and I like picking up a book, and then I randomly pick any book and open it up and just start reading it. I just like doing that, random any page, any book, just read it.
Strange pastime.
And I just like getting lost in the book or something, and then I have another book that I'm following. I find that if you read a book and you know your mind is starting to go, pick up a random book, read that, and then pick that book up.
Well, Ronnie used to read to himself out loud. That's how he learned how to read.
That's right. No, that's true. And then I pick up this book, and this book was about water divining. It was about how to find water under the ground with 2 branches. And I flicked the book over, and it was on about one of the most famous water diviners in the world was the woman, and this wouldn't shake, her whole body would shake, and she's been sent all over the UK and Europe to find water, right? And next thing, mate, turn the page, there's a picture of her. The witch from Cornwall or something. I fucking threw the book away.
No.
I was like, what's going on? I picked the book up, couldn't start reading it, right? Then I started reading another story about a guy who was in Cornwall, the energy that's in Cornwall, this is Cornwall. And next thing I just goes, mate, if I'm going to find my wife, she's got to be in Cornwall or something, So last year I was meant to go, but I got thrown off track, stayed in Ireland. But I think I'm just going to go to Cornwall and buy a bicycle. And then just cycle around. It's too weird. I think isn't that the weirdest stuff ever?
Two things I'm going to ask. Is there a chance you were in Cornwall? Daddy. But secondly, what was that book about? Because that
water divining.
I feel like it's you get the Cornwall.
It was about
and then maybe that's
what
you needed to know.
You're going to love this. That book was about and you can read people's minds. What was that about?
Mentalism or
telepathy,
telekinesis.
It was all about that. It was all about strange things. It was all about this. And it was just it all came up to this, and I was like going, whoa, this is... And it was... You know what's crazy? You know what she said to me? He goes, do you have any ghost stories?
Oh,
man, I could...
Well, you were meant to tell that on here.
The whole story, that's the way my brain works. After that page, the next story I read was about a ghost in Cornwall that people used to go and visit. Isn't that so funny? We're in full circle.
Fucking hell. So, I got a... Before you tell it, I got a similar thing that's happened to me like only 3 or 4 days ago. Like... the weirdest synchronicity I've ever experienced is I was catching up with a mate, had a coffee, and we're just talking about I'm trying to learn Spanish. And I was like, I'm going to learn Spanish. We're getting Duolingo. And he's like, yeah, cool. You'll start with some basic things, and you'll do some sentences, and then you'll go traveling. Like I'm going to Spain in a couple of weeks. He's like, you'll just walk around and you'll pick shit up, and then you'll start to form sentences. He's like, you'll be on a train and you'll go like, próxima estación, which is next station in Spanish. And I'm like, oh, cool, that's interesting. Anyway, finish the conversation, done. Go have a coffee at me local barista and having a chat. I'm like, can't wait. Heading to UK, heading to Spain. It's going to be really good. And he's like, go down to the train station, check this out, see if this old lady's there. She does some stuff with some kids. It's bloody hilarious busking show. You'll love it. I want to know if she's still there. And then he just goes, próxima estación. And I'm like, I've never heard one person say that, and 2 people in the next within half an hour, totally separate conversations have both said, próxima estación. And I'm like, well, there's got to be, I don't know what that is, but maybe I need to go to a train station in Spain.
Well, I had that with Ronnie today. I'd never heard of do you know what a teetotaler is?
No.
Never heard of it before, right?
Yeah.
Last week I wrote a quiz. I just did a general one, and it said, what is someone that's a teetotaler? I was like, fuck, no idea. And it's someone that hasn't drank alcohol.
Okay.
Abstained.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I'm doing the quiz with Ronnie today. It goes, what is a teetotaler? I'm like,
my
what
God.
the fuck? I've never heard of that before. So it's one of those ones where...
Maybe you're aligned. Maybe
I haven't drank for a month.
Well.
So I've abstained. I'm a teetotaler.
Are you in dry July?
No, I'm doing broken ankle Delby. I'm doing immobile Delby.
All right. Well, Delby, finish off with some ghost stories. I screenshotted a couple as well. So
these are from our Facebook page DMs. And guys, if you're listening,
some of shit.
I don't know how many people are listening, and most people just probably view the clips.
Yeah.
They DM and go, "How do I send you a ghost story?" It's like, well, you're DMing.
Here.
Put it in here.
Yeah.
And there's thousands, so we try to check as many as we can. But this is from Sherilyn Hanrahan. My brother was at my house. He looked up at the calendar as he stated, "It's your birthday next Wednesday. What do you want?" Usually I give him a long list of potential gifts I want and then laugh. That morning I burst into uncontrollable gut-wrenching tears. I ran from the kitchen to try and pull myself together. I couldn't explain to anyone why that happened. The following Sunday, I was at home cleaning the walls. All the curtains were down. I noticed my brother across the road just standing there looking at my place. As he often would come around for a visit, I wasn't surprised to see him. I just yelled out to my fiance, "Open the door, Larry's here." Just kept working on my wall, not really thinking much at the time. Then I heard tyres on the driveway, looked out to see a car that I didn't know. Then a woman was helping out someone who was distraught. It was my mum, hardly able to walk unassisted. I ran out. She then told me my brother was hit by a car at a bus stop half an hour away from my place. I told her, "No way. I just saw him." I went straight to the hospital to see who had my brother's ID, as I just saw him minutes before they arrived. It was him, and he died on my birthday 3 days later. He was brain dead. So this matches up with the telepathy tapes. When people are brain dead or unresponsive, they're still able to astral travel. So she's seen him visiting her, gone to the hospital, and then he's died 3 days later on her birthday. That's
hell.
pretty rude, bro.
Yeah.
Do it the day before or the day after.
That's pretty hectic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Scott Dennis. Hi, guys. I'm Scott from Liverpool, England. I've been watching your podcast recently. Thanks for watching the clips, not the podcast. And wanted to share a story. I'm 36 and my granddad passed away when I was 6. The night he passed, he was ill through the night, and my mum went to my granddad's house to be with him and my grandma. A friend of my mum's came round to watch me and my sister, who had no idea of what was going on. While I was asleep, my mum's friend could hear me talking in my sleep, so she came upstairs to make sure I was okay. As she opened the door to my room, she heard me saying, "Good night, Granddad, I love you." Just after this happened, she got a call from my mum to tell her that my granddad had just passed away.
Ooh.
So,
okay. Interesting.
Kel Shield. I got one for you. My best friend and I planned our funerals, and whoever would die first, we would send the other a message to the other in only a way we would know. He died first, and I remember sitting in his funeral alone and heartbroken with nobody to comfort me. That night, I got a notification from him on my Facebook with a video of how he got my nickname. When he was dying, he refused to let me visit because he knew he would not remember me. After the shock, I started laughing, remembering the vow that we both made in private. So he's dead, and she got a notification from him on Facebook. After he died.
Yes. All right. Well, I've got a couple of short ones that I can read you. This one's okay. This one's from Katie Fryer. A week after my dad died, my mum had a dream. He came to her and told her that she would see a white feather, and that's him telling her he's okay. The next morning, she went downstairs, and his chair where he sat was a big white feather.
Oh, that's interesting. That's weird as well.
That it would happen like that.
Yeah, like
the next morning straight after.
Yeah. How often do you have white feathers in your house? Unless you're talking to a chicken on a podcast.
Yeah. This one's quite nice. After my mum died, we had spring break and I'll start that again. After my mum died, we had spring break at school. And when we got back, one of my teachers asked me to stay after class. She told me that when she was in a shop on vacation, she got this strong feeling of me every time she looked at this specific magnet. She said she couldn't leave the shop without it. It was a Betty Boop in a Harley hat, it was a Betty Boop in a Harley hat with a big rose magnet. She had no way of knowing, but my mum had rode Harleys all her life before having me, even changing the spelling of my name. Betty Boop was her favourite character, and she owned a Z28 Camaro with Betty Boop all decked out inside, and she had the most amazing rose garden. I fully broke down into my teacher's arms explaining to her all of the stuff.
That's pretty wild.
Betty Boop, Harley, and
is her
rose
name
garden.
Harley or something? Or?
Yeah, her name's Harley.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so maybe
that's cool.
Yeah. And do I have another one that's worth saying? Probably not. Maybe. Okay, this one's okay. Before my partner passed away, he had discussed what we were going to get each other for Christmas. He was going to get me an Xbox. After he passed away, my friends tried to distract me on what would have been our anniversary. Throughout the day, our song came on the radio. I got an expensive drink for free, and I won an Xbox at the arcade from a game I'd never played. I felt his presence all day.
Well, that's nice.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah. Well, I got 2 more, but I'll save them for a future one.
Okay.
That's a nice
there's
way to
plenty.
finish.
You can. Yeah, that is a nice way to finish.
Yeah.
But
Because we got to do the post. We got to do the pod intro before you go.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're getting close. I've got to go.
Let's plug. What do you want to
plug?
Socials. Do you want to plug a link to sell some choppers?
And do it in the style of selling yourself on the streets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The best social media channel you'll ever see in your life.
That was Cornish.
That was good.
On the 2nd of October, I booked the Astor Theatre.
Have ya?
Yeah, I've done, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
fuck,
mate.
we didn't even
Yeah.
talk about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Fuck.
got it.
Upstairs?
That's close.
That's close, yeah.
Okay.
So I need to start marketing.
Yeah.
Upstairs?
Yeah,
No,
the
Astor.
big one.
Not Regal. Astor.
I'm going to go all out. Because the Perth Fringe this year, the amount of people, I got a load of emails. And then the last 3 or 4 years has been compounding.
Yep.
So I said, just have a go, take a swing. But I couldn't get a Saturday, so I got a Thursday.
That's all right.
It's all right, so I'll go for that.
Yeah.
Try and fill it up. I'll give it a good shot. It's all about having a go, and that's the whole show, actually. But I'll be up there. I'll be telling loads of stories, be going on... the people that saw
What's the exact date? October 2nd.
October the 2nd.
And a Thursday.
And Thursday.
I'll get a book off. I'll
Yeah.
book off.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then I have another smaller show down in Frio on the 19th in the Federal Hotel in Fremantle on the 19th of July, if you want to check that out.
How do people get tickets?
What was that one you gave me, that ticket one? What was that one you told me?
Megatix?
Megatix. Go to Megatix.
Yeah, we'll put the link in the bio. Send me the ticket link, and we'll put it in the bio show notes.
That's for the 19th. But the biggest one is the theatre, the one on the 19th. I'm going to be doing some of the old stuff, some of the new stuff, but I'm excited for the theatre because I'm just going to lean in and I'm definitely going to talk for more than an hour, so you'll get your money.
And he's good. His brain's good. His content is going to be him flying, but hell, funny ways of flying.
Love it.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm
guerrilla
going to do.
marketing. And the name of the show is
Ronnie Neville, the ultimate Irish storyteller.
all right. There we go.
That's actually a fucking good sell. That's a good name.
cool.
Yeah.
So search for Ronnie Neville, the ultimate Irish storyteller.
Delby, you want to plug anything?
Yeah. So my leg is slowly healing. I started walking today, so I'll be in Adelaide this Friday night. Then
No.
What?
No, this episode's going out in 2 weeks.
I was in Adelaide last week and it sold out. The show was fucking absolutely brilliant. So I will be in New South Wales this week and next week. So I'm. What day is this going out?
I haven't 100% decided.
Okay,
It'll be
so
like a
depending
Thursday.
on if it's on Thursday, I'll be at Wollongong tonight at the Builders Club Society, and then tomorrow is sold out at Campbelltown. Then Saturday we'll be at Penrith at the Joan Theatre. I've only done 170. It's normally gets 300 odd, so I'm a bit worried. So support Daniel Delby. And then next week, Manly, Parramatta. Manly, I might meet your Cornish mates in Manly.
Oh, yeah.
Parramatta, Sutherland Shire, Canberra, and finishing in Petersham. Then I'll be over in the Gold Coast and Queensland, Nunda and Loganholme and Jindalee for 33 Years Single on a Friday night. And Saturday sold out for Teacher Comedy, but 2 o'clock in Loganholme. DanielDelby.com, but really all my stuff is at Daniel Delby, and click the link in bio.
Fuck yeah. Got nothing to plug. This will be... I'll be in Spain when this comes out, I think.
Proxima Stazione.
Proxima Stazione, or the Dolomites. Either way, hiking, doing something. So enjoy.
I thought Dolomites was the Commonwealth Bank saving program.
I think Dolomites is the Alps between Austria and Italy.
So the double entendre. Nice.
Yep, sick. Can't wait. Enjoy your break. Well, our content's going to be going out, but have fun, Delby, while you're away. And I'll see you when I'm back.
Have a good time, hey?
All right.
Cheers, lads.
Hey, Root.
Peace.